In the year 1886, during the late Victorian era, a nun named Sister Genevieve committed a fatal mistake. Seeking divine justice, she invoked an ancient rite. But instead of salvation, she summoned something unholy. The spirit that came forth was wrapped in flame and vengeance. Mother Inferna was born, tied forever to the sacred veil. The nun, Veil of Ashes. Nearly 140 years later, in the year 2025, Emma Doyle arrives at the same convent to investigate the disappearance of her sister Claire, who had joined the order unaware of its cursed history. The veil still lingers, feeding on faith and fear. The sins of the past have returned, and Emma must face them head-on. Two women, separated by centuries. Two timelines, connected by fire. One veil, one final reckoning. The bus rattled along a muddy, broken road as Emma Doyle watched the landscape twist into gray hills and crooked trees. She clutched her sister's burnt veil in one hand, the letter in the other. A cold declaration from church authorities that Sister Claire was presumed dead, lost in the fire that consumed St. Mercia Convent. But there was no body, no funeral, only whispers. Villagers stared as she stepped off the bus. They didn't speak. They didn't need to. Their silence was laced with fear. She walked to the rusted iron gates of the convent. They stood taller than she remembered, cloaked in vines. With one push, the gates creaked open, as if the place itself had been waiting. Claire had written in 2025, "The veil chooses who may wear it." Emma was about to find out why. The convent was still. Dust floated like spirits in the air. Emma's flashlight beam swept across cracked pews, broken statues, and melted candles. Cold seeped through stone and into her bones. She wandered through the chapel, into corridors once filled with hymns. The silence was suffocating. And then, a soft creak. She turned. Nothing. On a bed frame sat a scorched journal, Claire's handwriting. The last entries were frantic. They whisper through the walls. "The veil burns when I sleep. I see them praying with mouths sewn shut. I think I'm not alone." Emma backed away. Something moved in the shadows. A figure at the edge of her light. Gone. In the dormitory attic, under a rotted floorboard, Emma found an ancient diary, leather-bound, brittle. It belonged to Sister Genevieve. 1886. I begged for justice, for purity. But he did not answer. Something else did. A flame, a woman in black, a veil of smoke. She came with judgment. Her name, Mother Inferna. Emma whispered the name. The temperature dropped. The fireplace behind her roared to life. Flames surged up the walls. In the glow, a nun emerged, tall, robes scorched black, her face a burning skull wreathed in smoke. Emma screamed and ran, slamming the door shut. The fire died instantly. Emma descended into the crypts. The air was heavy, damp, electric. Her flashlight flickered, then failed. The walls were lined with bones. Candles lit themselves. She heard her sister calling.
"Emma, please help me."
She turned into a chamber of mirrors. In each reflection, her sister stood behind her, mouth open, eyes hollow, a veil wrapped tight around her throat. The mirrors cracked one by one until only Emma's reflection remained, alone. Then, a hand clamped over her mouth. Darkness. Emma awoke in a circle of burned crosses. The veil was beside her, untouched by flame. She knew then, this veil wasn't just a relic. It was a prison, and it had chosen her. In Claire's voice, she heard, "She wears the veil to burn. You wear it to enter." with holy ash, the crucifix, and the final pages of Genevieve's rite, Emma prepared herself. She draped the veil over her head. Thunder cracked above. The convent trembled. At the chapel's heart, the altar pulsed with heat. Smoke gathered, swirling into a cloaked figure. Mother Inferna stood before her, flames dancing in her eyes. You are the last, the final veil. Your blood will feed the flame. Emma held up the ash. Inferna shrieked and recoiled, but the battle had begun. Fire whirled through the air. Statues wept blood. Claire's voice cried from every wall. Emma fought with prayer, with fear, with fury. As the final words of the ritual left her lips, Inferna cracked, her form splintering like glass. Within the ghost's chest, Emma saw her sister, trapped, screaming, eyes pleading. Claire hadn't died. She had become part of the ghost. Emma dropped to her knees. I'm sorry, Claire. I didn't come sooner. You came now, Claire's spirit whispered. That's enough. End it. With all her strength, Emma drove the crucifix into the veil at Inferna's heart. It ignited instantly, engulfing the chapel in white fire. The ghost shrieked, 1,000 voices of tortured nuns crying out in unison. Stone cracked, glass shattered. And then, silence. Emma stepped from the rubble as dawn painted the sky with gold. The air was warm, birds sang. In her palm, Claire's rosary gleamed. She walked down the road, head bowed. But behind her, a breeze caught something black in the grass. A veil, still intact, waiting.